This Detroit Lions team preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Sean, we heard the big man's voice to start the show.
Yeah, Derek Stevens.
A lot of people, including myself, thought the D was named after the city of Detroit. It is not.
It's for nickname.
No, you find out in Vegas if you come visit us with the firm handshake.
Good tease, right? I almost revealed on air. We are talking Detroit Lions as part of our 32 NFL team previews. If you're watching live, get in for our pack break. That's right. We got a bunch of great feedback on doing the live pack break. We will run it back tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 12th, 7:00 Pacific. You can grab your team. I think halfway more than sold out. So get in over there now. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break if you want to grab a pack. It's also fun just to watch other reactions live. Promo code SGPN. Get in the chat. It's awesome to hear the chat sweat these. And it is a sweat because what team's going to pop up? Oh, you get that card. We had a couple big pulls last time. We had a Burrow card that you got, Ryan, that was worth a decent amount of change.
We got, the big, for me, it was there was at the very end, so it's like there's boxes that are like not curated, and Daps also curate some stuff. And at the very end, in one of those curated packs, I got a double. I remember first it was exciting because we found it was Bengals. It was a double. It was T Higgins and Joe Burrow. I think the big payday, the big winner of the last show was the Commanders in general, because a couple Jaden Daniels popped out, but also that Luke McCaffrey
autograph
jersey
patch,
signed,
which is pretty. I mean, if Luke McCaffrey ends up being a prospect, that thing could.
Yeah, and I think the one thing to handicap here is the cards are all 2024. But the jerseys could be from someone this year, from what I understand.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
because the delay in the card manufacturing, you don't have the 2025 rookies for another couple months. So I've already gotten down on the Jags, Sean. So in addition to the Giants, I have the Jags. So
obviously you're praying for a Brian Thomas rookie.
Yeah, to go with my neighbors. I mean, I didn't really get much Giants last time too.
Well, and there are you want to talk about the quarterbacks from last year, the Falcons cards.
No, thank you.
The Bears and the Patriots. So if you're optimistic on one of those rookie quarterbacks from
those
that
teams
year,
don't have fan bases,
making a jump, might want to hop in, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And Ryan, if you're watching live, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast, triple header. We got 3 team previews. We're doing an extra day in Vegas. We're going to be at the Circa this weekend. So come say hi if you're around, but we got to get to it. We got a bunch of team previews. We're doing 3 today. 3 a days. Let's get after it. Joining us on the line to talk all things Detroit Lions. You know him. You love him. Easy. What's happening, man? Great to hear from you.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Now I saw online that you had gotten a haircut, or you were posting you hadn't gotten a haircut in 2 years. You got a haircut. Now you got your hair in a hat. How did you end up really going short? I know last time we saw you for the preseason game, you had the long Lions mane. How did you go short, or did you just get it trimmed? What are you working with?
Yeah, so actually, it's been closer to 3 years. I found out. It's been a while, but yeah, I can take my hat off real quick.
Yeah, let's see the hair. Debut the hair.
Dick Puncher. Dick Puncher took his shirt.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah.
This is now multiple episodes in the NFC North where someone got aroused who was listening or watching. Trust me, if you're listening and you can't see Easy right now, you're hot.
The DJnets will be loving that, but I miss it as a fan of you being a Lions fan and also having a giant Lions mane and kind of almost emblematic of the logo of the Lions, which was a fun little bonus. But you look locked in, Easy, good setup. Of course, if you don't know Easy, regular in the Discord. Cousin Mush joking, did Easy get a job? I feel like most of our job maybe had a court appearance. I don't know what. Easy, was there any reason you cut the hair or just felt like it was time for a change? Why'd you pull the trigger?
It's hot as shit having hair that long.
Yeah. That was my excuse.
That was pretty much it. I mean, it was hot and it irritated the hell out of me, so I decided to cut it. It's really nothing past that. I
like it. Simplicity, locked in. Sounds like a Dan Campbell move, training camp. You can't be sweating out there with the long hair. Although I was doing a little research, and our boy Anal Zone Ryan, who also had the long hair, so I think he still has the long hair. He was a little grumpy about his contract. Anzalone.
No.
They ended up giving him a slight bump, but he didn't seem thrilled about it. That was one little nugget that jumped out. But let's talk about the Lions. We'll do a little recap 2024. Kramer and I were both on the over for the Lions wins. That came in. They had obviously 15-2, crazy year. 12-5 ATS. I had them going 12-5 straight up. They crushed that by 3 games. Kramer almost nailed it. He had them going 14-3. Got to the playoffs.
That was a pretty crazy prediction.
Yeah. No, we were.
So I'm just saying, when people watch these episodes and they think how fucking crazy these guys are to have the Jags go 13-4.
Well, I mean, their win total was 10.5, but they exceeded that by 4.5 wins.
Yep. Had the mega parlay on the Chiefs and Lions. That was
easy money.
Something nice.
So looking at the Lions for me, I see a lot of signs of regression. You got the +9 turnover margin, 4-0 in the 3-point games, 7-1 in the 1-score games. You have a much harder schedule, 3rd hardest in win total. You get a positive on the net rest edge. Now, certainly the concerns are, the center Ragnow retired, but it did seem like the Lions kind of saw that coming. They lost both their offensive and defensive coordinators to other head coaching positions. I think those are like the big things. Don't mind what they did in the draft. Didn't do a ton in free agency. They brought in Avante Maddox. Shout out to him. But I mean,
you kind of count the Hutchinson return as a massive free
agent. And I would say,
signing.
the reason to think they're not going to regress is that defense was incredibly injured. Like they had one of the most, I think, Football Almanac had it. Great read. Check them out. As like one of the highest games lost just on one side, still ended up having a decent DVOA. Obviously, that's kind of what cost them in the playoffs. But also, going back to Jared Goff sucks Island. Even though they were 5-2, we did take a couple trips. It was a wild ride. If you were speculating the price on Jared Goff sucks Island, because they had a 5 interception game, Goff, where he ended up winning the game. You want to talk about regression? That playoff game, threw a pick 6, strip sack. Some of that was his fault. The strip sack, I guess you could maybe say on the O line there, but Goff without Ben Johnson, that's a little.
Think about how much people would view this a different season too if they had just not lost the Commanders and gotten their ass kicked by the Eagles.
Yeah, I think
it would have been completely different. Or at least I believe a lot of people would be looking at them differently. But instead, they're using it as a way to compound the fact that they're losing their coordinators, which honestly made me go back and do a little bit, knew a little bit more, kind of have a more firmed up opinion of Aaron Glenn and the defense. And I'm much more willing to think that they're just I'm never going to expect them to be a good unit, because I don't think they ever were a good unit under Aaron Glenn, and I don't see them stepping into one unless Aiden Hutchinson is like a world beater.
Well, but
on the offensive side, I thought everyone is giving Ben Johnson all this credit for being this genius that now Dan Campbell lost, and he's going to have to replace. So I was like, okay, well, where did Ben Johnson come from? Like, I didn't know much about him.
Dan Campbell.
It turns out he was developed by Dan Campbell.
No, and
like
that's
even tracing back to Dan Campbell's days when he brought the Oklahoma drill to the Miami Dolphins. Who can forget? So it made me immediately wonder. Well, does it even fucking matter then? When Andy Reid loses a coordinator, no one talks about it.
Well, it's just fun. I mean,
is it because Dan Campbell is an obvious meathead?
Well, and someone had that point, and I forget the show I was listening to, but they go, Dan Campbell is known as just like this football guy, drinks 9 coffees, with 5 espressos, which may kill him one day. Exact opposite physique of Andy Reid, but you remember
that clip of him on the Giants with Shockey, where he was the crazier one between him and Jeremy Shockey.
Dan Campbell played tight end. He was an offensive guy. I think
learned under Sean Payton.
Yeah, I think everyone has this idea that he is this defensive, almost like Buddy Ryan-esque because of the legends around Dan Campbell will bite your kneecaps, whatever. But if you actually look at the way he coaches, the way the coaches he's developed, he is much more like an analytical nerd, offensive genius kind of guy than you would guess by his persona. And Ryan, just adding on to your point, the offensive coordinator they brought in was a guy who's in the Sean Payton tree. He is John Morton, who is the passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix. So maybe they won't miss a step.
This is literally Yoda passing, a young Padawan over to Luke Skywalker here. If you want to use
the fuck's a Padawan?
I think that's what they call the young Jedi trainers.
Oh Jesus!
Come on. But no, I didn't finish the point. It wasn't just that he coached with him in Miami. He actually fucking hired him in Miami.
Yeah.
So he created Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
If you create someone, you cannot. It's people. How reckless for the media to be telling. Not until we got to the Detroit episode, Sean, did I even consider looking into this.
Yeah.
The mainstream media is lying to all of us.
No,
I now have zero concerns about the offense, or at least the Ben Johnson piece of the offense. One
last nugget. Hutchinson, we kept talking about what a record pace he was on.
He was good.
He was. He remained the league leader in pressures all the way to week 9, even though he got hurt in week 6, and they had already had their bye week. So that. You want to talk about the run he was on pre-injury. I'm sure he has a fire up his ass. Easy. We hit you with a ton of stuff that I'm sure you already know as a Lions insider and expert, but what do we get right? Where are we wrong? Where are you transitioning from the 2024 Lions to the 2025 Lions?
Yeah. So, I mean, I pretty much agree with y'all with what you said about the coaching. I don't think we're going to lose all that much in the transition. John Morton, or Johnny Moe as the players are calling him. So I'm gonna call him that too. I think he's going to be a really good fit for us. He, was with the Lions before, then went back to Sean Payton in Denver, helped make Bo Nix good with the Broncos. And then now he's coming back. He said that he's going to stick to a lot of what we did last year with mixing in of new stuff, which I think is the way to go with it. But a lot of the stuff that he's changing, I think is going to be, a good bump for us, like using JMO more, giving him more routes in the route tree. I mean, he was typically just like a go run 9 guy under Ben Johnson, which really didn't make a whole lot of sense. It seems like Johnny Moe was going to be doing a lot of different stuff with him. And then on top of that, he's also said that he's going to have both running backs in the backfield on certain schemes, which will be huge for us, and using Jahmyr Gibbs on the outside in the passing game, which could help us a lot too. So I think he's doing a whole lot of stuff, along with keeping things like the trick plays and stuff like that Ben Johnson did last year, to where not only do we not miss a step, but we actually elevate the offense this year. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Kelvin Shepard, Aaron Glenn guy, coached under him for 3 years in the linebacking core. I think the linebackers were our best part of the defense last year when all the injuries came up. So I love Kelvin Shepard being the D coordinator.
No, and I was skeptical when they drafted Jack Campbell as high as they did, but he's been good. Our buddy Alex Anelzone has been a really good linebacker for them. And you mentioned, I'm super high on the Jameson Williams stuff. We'll get to some of that, some fun plays in the prop market. I agree. I would say as far as schedule, and again, I don't think it's crazy to say the Lions are gonna regress from 15-2. The question is by how much, right? Like they could regress 4 games and still be 11-6 in the playoffs and hitting their over win total. They could regress 3 games and be 12-5. Worth noting though, part of their schedule last year, which was favorable, and we highlighted when we did our preview last year, 15 games indoors compared to only 9 this year. So a little bit of a drop off there. The schedule is tougher. You're playing that
That's
first
a huge
place
deal
schedule.
for Goff.
That is. And that's
unfortunately,
and, if there is someone that's gonna fuck this up, unfortunately, and I see Easy shaking his, it might be Jared Goff. Now Ben Johnson did a very good job. I think the mental stuff, Dan Campbell has done a good job of like getting Jared Goff his confidence back. And I think the fact that Laporta should have a good year, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra, you have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Like, people in the fantasy community are saying some are like Jahmyr Gibbs #1 overall.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I get that
as high fantasy wise, just because I think David Montgomery is still gonna get involved. But for like team stuff, for them winning games, look at their skill position. Sam Laporta, tight end, like they're in a great spot.
Well, if you recall, the reason that I determined that I was so high on him, both him and Bijan, it was the tremendous amount of consistency and the ability to have these massive games. Like a ceiling that only so many can reach. He was one of 3 40-point games in fantasy last year in PPR. So, he's on a list of a very, very, very short list, and he doesn't have too many duds in spite of David Montgomery existing.
Yeah, no, it is. Their offense should still be good. To your point, Kramer, defense, if they can just kind of hang around, and that going back to the +9 turnover margin, if they don't have that, but again, getting Aiden Hutchinson back solves a lot of your problems when you have a guy like that.
And I honestly, my take, yeah. So one, I guess I'm willing at this point to take the L on my Aiden Hutchinson. Small hands isn't going to be able to compete at the next level. He's pretty good. And good that he's not coming off some sort of like a joint problem. It was just a broken leg, right?
Yeah,
that almost feels like those things. They just throw some titanium in there or whatever, and you're good to go. But my point was more to say that I just don't think Detroit was like, I don't think we should be expecting them to be, or they weren't ever a great defense under Aaron Glenn. And so why are we expecting there to be this massive drop off going to a guy who I don't know how long he's been in the system, Easy, but I'm pretty sure he's been there for, more than 2 or 3 seasons. And so I would expect it will be a lot of the same things. If anything, the best way to improve on a system is to evolve it with someone who isn't, in it. And so refreshing coordinators, like I could spin this as a positive for both offensive and defensive side of the ball. I'm sure the Detroit fans are doing that. And so, yeah, I think the idea that they end up being an average defense and above average to elite offense again makes a lot of sense to me, even with all the changes.
Yeah, no, I think they're in a good spot. I'm with you. I think I'm less worried about the defensive coordinator. The offense and Jared Goff is my only concern. And you look at
not worried at all about the offensive, the coordinator changing
a little bit. Well, and that,
not at all.
That to me is tied into the Jared Goff concerns. Jared Goff with the new offensive coordinator, maybe they fall off. But if you look at like the positional ranks on our doc, they're top 5 in almost everything except quarterback, and we'll see. But they have so much around him. You got to be optimistic a little bit. Now, again, they're not going to win 15 games. I don't think that's crazy to say, but they could still hit double digits, I think, fairly easily as we'll walk through the schedule.
You could argue that the 3 teams in their division are 3 of the most overrated teams in the conference.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying it's very easy to say that.
Wow, we did the Washington Commanders. I think they're fairly overrated.
They're overrated too. I'm just saying, like Minnesota, Sean.
Yeah.
Chicago. Ben Johnson's just going to snap his fingers and fix it.
Yeah, everyone knows I'm out on Minnesota and JJ McCarthy. Sam Howell. breathing down his neck in that preseason game.
I am staying very strong, but like at some point, preseason doesn't matter for the most part, unless it's something good you want to celebrate. But Chicago,
I think looking bad in preseason is a bad sign.
Yeah.
As an individual player, like Quinn Ewers,
what's bad?
That's
bad. Full bad.
That's a bad sign.
Not a bad mistake. Not like a single mistake or like a bad.
Yeah,
play.
blown call or like a blown
underthrowing a throw and getting picked off.
Talking about Kyler Murray.
It's not
Tater
so bad.
tot.
Not so bad.
All right, we're gonna get to the Lions schedule before we do. Shout out to mybookie.ag. MyBookie. I mean, the prop builder. Cannot wait to fire on that. Easy killed it this year on the defensive props, and they have a ton of props in their prop builder, which is live and active for people who sign up using our promo code mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. They accept customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using that sweet cryptocurrency. Shout out to Bitcoin. It's just it's always good to have more options, and mybookie.ag, great place to get started. They do have a 100% match up to $1,000. Now there is a rollover requirement, so read the terms and conditions there if you're looking to get the bonus. Either way, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. Appreciate all the support, and shout out to Rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. It is, I mean, it's here and it's beautiful. That's right. College football is back. They killed it last year. Rhythm, 21.47% ROI on non-conference spreads, 22.47 ROI in conference money lines. This is hey. Yeah, everyone's using AI these days. It is an AI arms race, even in the gambling world. And if you're not using data and big data and AI stuff as part of your handicapping, you really are missing out, because certainly the competition is. Don't miss out. Get your 7-day free trial today. Start playing around with the college football model. It is a lot of fun. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
All right, shall we look at the schedule? Yes. All right. Well, we kind of touched on it, but obviously last year's schedule had a lot of things that you like about it. A lot of areas why it could be easy. The indoor thing, always a nice feature for a dome team. Well, this year, it's a difficult schedule. It also is one that features some good rest advantage. So they lose the indoor games, they gain some rest advantage, and I think they're going to play pound for pound a much more difficult schedule. And some of that is when you catch the AFC North, for example, the fact that they're playing each other, no real easy game in there, unless you're now that Shador's arrived, no easy game in the AFC North, but nothing other, 12 times their favorites, which is probably what you would expect for a team at 10.5 plus 104 to the over, minus 129 to the under, 188 to make the playoffs, 152 to miss, plus that is. Divisions plus 155. Conference is 5.5 to 1, and the Super Bowl is 10 to 1. And I came to the conclusion while having a late night mind-bending experience with the Man in the Box in the recliners, all the way reclined, looking up towards the stars at the Circus Sportsbook, beautiful Las Vegas. That what are we doing here? Plus 155 for the division. We're making the same mistakes again. This team clearly has a better roster than everyone else in the division, and the one team that you could argue is close is quarterbacked by a guy who I wouldn't rank higher than Jared Goff. And they opened the season against them at Green Bay, which that division game I don't mind to see week one. I know I'm mostly anti that, but I kind of like this matchup right off the bat. And then you have Chicago. Now I don't like having back-to-back division games to start the year, but you get Chicago at home, and that is it's a nothing. And then you go to the Monday night game against Baltimore on the road, and then Cleveland at home. Probably do want to play Cleveland earlier, although honestly you probably want to get Cleveland in the middle of the year after Flacco gets hurt and before one of the young quarterbacks is playing decently.
Oh, sounds like some Shador optimism.
No, that
okay.
That wasn't Shador optimism.
Oh,
I still don't
Gabriel?
think he's going to be on the Browns this year.
He's 100% going to be on the Browns. Did you see how many fans they had at a preseason game on the road?
I think that might have more to do with seeing Joe Flacco on the sideline, Myles Garrett.
What are you talking about? This is the only thing Browns fans have been excited about in like 5 years. They're not.
It's very sad because he's
Shador
not good.
Sanders.
He's not.
It doesn't matter. They're not cutting him. Kramer, what are you doing these first 4 games? Now, Cleveland at home. Yeah, they're 10.5 point favorites. You like them there.
Yeah.
Chicago at home, decent favorite.
I think. I mean, come on. You don't think Dan Campbell's going to put Ben Johnson in a headlock and give him a noogie? No way.
Baltimore on the road is certainly super tough. But are you going 3-1, Kramer?
Well, I kind of do want to respect the Packers Lions and say that they'll split. So I think this could be
the old division chop.
But perhaps the Lions lose the Thanksgiving Day game. I'll say 2-2. I'll say 2-2. I'll say 2-2, and there's questions about Dan Campbell's. No, actually, you know what? You're right. 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, we'll see where I land, but
Baltimore has Kansas City on deck here too.
Yeah, I still think
it's a primetime game
at M&T Stadium. Primetime.
Early, that's the loss for me. But
early Ravens is that's a really tough one.
I think I'm going to give the Packers the Thanksgiving game, possibly.
I think I'll go 3-1. Easy. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think we absolutely beat the Packers week 1. I think our team's still pissed off that we lost in the playoffs like we did. Aiden Hutchinson's back. He's going to come out week 1 with a fire up his ass. Dan Campbell's going to be eager to show everybody, hey, the coordinators don't matter. And I think we roll through the first 2. I do think we lose to Baltimore. We have a tough time with running quarterbacks, and I don't know if that changes this year. Obviously, I hope it does, but until I see it, I can't trust it. So I don't think we beat Baltimore, and then obviously we beat Cleveland, so 3-1.
3-1. All right, Kramer, next batch. What are we doing?
All right, tough back-to-back road spot here. At Cincinnati, then at Kansas City.
Oh.
That's very, very tricky. The fact, even just kind of seeing them favored in Cincinnati, gives me one of those. I squint a little bit when I look at it. Then you have Tampa at home. This is a hell of a stretch. Bye week in the middle, and then that Monday night for the Tampa game, by the way, or asterisk Monday night, but the early kick. It's the 4 p.m. West Coast kick, Sean. And then you have the Vikings at home. That's probably one I would buy on the look ahead here. Yeah, I think definitely winning the Vikings game.
Tampa gives them trouble though.
Yeah, it's a primetime game. I think
that's true.
I think Detroit will handle their business there. Can they steal one of the road games, non-conference, against the Bengals or the Chiefs?
They won 2 years ago in KC. Kind of that after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Chiefs will be coming off Monday night against the Jags, so perhaps they're reeling. That might not be. I'm going
2-2. The back-to-back road games against tough teams. Tampa being in there, who gives them trouble. I do like them obviously at home against Minnesota, but I don't know if at Cincy, at Kansas City, Tampa Bay at home. I think they might only win one of those, so I'll go 2-2.
But this highlights where they have these like kind of small rest edges. Both Cincinnati and Kansas City are coming off Monday night games when they play, so pick up a day here, a day there. That's how you end up with the best net rest in the league. Easy. What about this stretch? 3-1 again or 2-2?
I'm gonna go 2-2 here. Like y'all said, Tampa Bay gives us fits for some reason. It just seems like we can't beat them. I don't know why. And then Cincinnati, Kansas City, I think we drop one of those. I think we beat Kansas City. We seem to have their number. Like y'all said, we beat them week 1 2 years ago. I actually called that money line too.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, I think Cincinnati's offense could give us some trouble. And then the back-to-back might fuck with us a little bit. So yeah, 2-2. We don't have a problem with Minnesota though.
Kramer, what are you doing?
2-2.
2-2. So we're all 5-3, going into the next 9, the back 9.
Another back-to-back road spot here. You got Washington in the afternoon Sunday window, and then Philly on Sunday night football.
That's a loss.
Then you get the Giants at home.
That's a win.
And then the Packers on Thanksgiving.
They never. Well, that's interesting, Ryan. That might actually help you with the look ahead aspect to the Thanksgiving game. Although,
help me.
Yeah, you guys are going to
help
need
the Giants.
Yeah. Oh, you're not on the team?
I'm not on the team. No.
Oh, I'm on the team. Easy. Now, what do you Lions? Even since they become good, off the top of my head, they have had trouble on Thanksgiving. What was a couple years ago? Green Bay won outright as a dog. Where are you at with this four game stretch?
Yeah, another thing where it's like, why do we do this? But we do struggle on Thanksgiving pretty much every year. You know, back when we sucked and living in Virginia, I could only really watch Lions games like once a year, and it was on Thanksgiving. And I knew they were going to suck every year, so it's like I get my hopes up every year. Oh, cool, it's Thanksgiving. I can finally watch the Lions, just for us to get blown out by 28 every year. So I still have no faith that we can win a Thanksgiving game. I'm going to go 2-2 in this one. I think we absolutely beat Washington. I think this is the look ahead spot. I think come week 10, we will not be dogs here. So I'm going to put money on this before the season starts for sure. I think we can beat Philly. I think this is another game we're going to be really up for because especially last year, you know, going into the playoffs and towards the end of the year, everyone was saying the game is going to be Lions Eagles. And then we couldn't make that happen. So I think this is kind of going to be like, all right, well, we'll make that happen this year and show that, yeah, you know, if our defense wasn't hurt, we could have done what they did kind of thing. But because it's a back-to-back road spot like that, I will say the Eagles pull it out, even though I think we can potentially win.
Okay, so 2-2 puts you at 7-5. Kramer, what are you doing here?
Yeah, they're going to beat the Redskins.
Okay,
they're going to lose to the Packers.
And
I think they split the other two games.
Okay.
2-2.
2-2. All right. Let's see.
Giants are going to be nasty on turf this year, so that could be a tricky spot right there. Dallas. Can I give out my predictions? You can give out your predictions.
Oh, thank you. I actually think this is where they get Green Bay. This is the trend they break. They finally get it home. I think they're going to be able to beat the Giants at home, and I think they steal one from Washington. I'm going to go 3-1 in this stretch. So I'm the outlier at 8-4. Kramer and Easy 7-5 going into the final 5 games. Kramer, what do you got? The final 5.
All right, final 5. You got the Dallas Cowboys, which I was just double checking. I still haven't found a win on their schedule. Then you have the Rams, which that Lions. Probably that's a home game. It's cold at this point in Detroit. People will want to go to see beautiful SoFi Stadium. Then you have the Steelers coming to town. That's an interesting one. How is the Lions' record against Aaron Rodgers, Sean? Then you have at Minnesota, at Chicago, back-to-back road spot to close it out. Minnesota is on Thursday, which is aka Christmas. As is the Dallas game. Dallas and Detroit both get the standard week off going from Thanksgiving to Thursday the following week. So neither team on a short week there.
Now I'm glad I have them sitting at 8 wins because I wanted to get them to 11-6, and going 3-2 here is pretty doable. I think for this Lions team, obviously like them a lot at home against Dallas, laying the 6. Steelers game, I think is interesting because like I don't necessarily love the matchups for the Lions, but I would say Steelers late in the year, that is kind of when they hit a wall.
You don't like the Steelers on turf.
Yeah, Steelers in a dome, that just never seems to work for them. So I like their chances in the home stretch, and then I think at Rams, and then you got 2 games. Only one of them is outdoors at Chicago. At Minnesota's a dome game. So between now, this is nice because 4 of the 5 are dome games. Yeah, I think 3-2. There's a chance they go 4-1 here, but I'll keep a conservative 3-2. Kramer, what are you doing here in this last 5?
Well, we fade the home team for the holidays, right? We know how that can be. A lot of the family in town. You got so they lose that, or they win the Minnesota game, meaning they're sweeping Minnesota this year. I think they also sweep the Bears. Like I said, they split with the Packers.
Oh, okay.
So that's 2 wins. The Steelers you don't want to mess with on turf against a team that can score points. The Rams, I mean, is this just do we just talk about how has Goff done against Mr. McVay recently? Well, he's done all right.
Yeah,
Won the game, so that's another win. Holy shit!
That was
is
a crazy
5-0.
That was a crazy win they had. And we'll see if Stafford. I mean, if Stafford is ready for week 1, which he was supposed to be throwing today at practice, he did not, which is obviously a red flag for his week 1 availability. And maybe, I mean, for him to make it to week 15 with that herniated disc, it's gonna be.
Did you see
see.
Did you see the what McVay said today?
Yes.
Just like we mentioned on the show, like that when he started talking about how he's going to be able to make all the throws, danger. And then the first day he's supposed to be back, he's in street clothes because he's not feeling it. Is he missing games? I think my take on Rams versus Texans might be a bad one.
We'll see. It's not looking good for.
Is this 5-0?
It's your picks, Ron.
Is this 5-0? Is the last game against?
I don't know. Is it a rhetorical question? Well, who do you want to answer?
We talked
the chat.
You talk about them going outside. They don't really go outside in the winter. They got this random Chicago game at the end of the season.
No, that's the one jumps out.
Was I at 7-5?
Yes.
5-0 is probably the right answer then. 5-0.
5-0 for Kramer.
Final answer.
12-5. We need the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for when Kramer finally locks in his answer.
What? I'm gonna be so over on wins this year. I got to take wins away from someone.
Easy. You're 7-5 going into this last 5 stretch, which only one outdoor game and some favorable spots here. What are you doing in this last 5?
Yeah, Kramer, it took you a minute, but you did get to the right answer. 5-0 is right here.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, we don't lose to the Rams since Jared Goff got into town. Dallas obviously is Dallas. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be a problem at home. And at this point in their season, is Rodgers the quarterback?
Ooh.
Oh.
Will Howard show?
Will Howard's season.
Although he's banged up.
Yeah, Will Howard's actually hurt. It's not a good sign for Will Howard.
Yeah, and then finishing up the division. It's weird that we start with 2 division games and then finish with 2 division games. I don't really love that, but I don't think Minnesota or Chicago is going to be shit this year. So I think we sweep both of them.
All right, let's get it. So easy 12-5, Kramer 12-5, and I'm sitting at 11-6. We're going to talk about our best bets for your 2025 Detroit Lions. Before we do, of course, shout out to Circa Million, Circa Survivor, the biggest football contest in the world. $21.5 million guaranteed. And it's going to be more than that. I mean, Circuit Survivor is easily going to hit 20 million. Shout out to fellow Lions fan, Derek Stevens, and the Circuit, just awesome property. Come hang out. We're going to be there a bunch, over the next couple of weeks. And then obviously in the football season, anytime you want to come say hi, promo code SGP15 at the Circa, get you 15% off, or the D or Golden Gate, and sign up for the contest. And if you do, we have a deal on the proxy. The proxy is a person who submits your picks every week. Footballcontest.com, promo code SGP for $50 off your proxy fees. Footballcontest.com, promo code SGP. And we're also brought to you by Underdog. Best Ball Mania happening all summer long, giving away 15 million in prizes, including 2 million to first, which is just insane. That's a spicy meatball. Love Underdog Fantasy. I'm drafting a ton of Jamison Williams on my best ball team, and I realize I have a bunch and I need more, so I'm going to be drafting more over on Underdog Fantasy. You can get a deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you use our promo code SGPN over at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Sorry, Sean, I had to go get the just in case / ticket satchel, because we're about to get into it.
All right, Kramer, you have a bunch of paper tickets. Fire away on what you like for the Detroit Lions.
Well, first we're gonna take, and so for the first conversation we have is, do you like the over or do you like the division better? Over, you're getting, close to normal odds, maybe close to plus 100. For the division, you're getting up to plus 155 now, which is wild.
Yeah,
that's gone up. When I locked this down at the Circa, I only got plus 146.
I like both, but if I had to choose, I might take the division at plus 155 because I guess I could see them. Well, the price. I mean, just because of the price difference, I like them to win the division at 155. Maybe
they go 10. If they go 10-7, they can possibly win right there too.
No, that's true. So I like both the win over the wins and the division. But if I had to choose, I might go division. So you're on the NFC North, Ryan.
I'm on the NFC North. I also have it parlayed with the Jags.
Okay,
that pays about 10-1.
So Lions AFC North with the Jags AFC South.
Jags price has come down since I bet this, but the Lions has gone up, so it's probably pretty similar, about 10-1.
Okay,
I'm looking at my ticket. I'm shocked at how large I went on this one. I also have I'm running back the Lions and the Chiefs because again, after having that conversation on that sweet night with CJ Sullivan, we determined that what are we doing here? The Lions are being disrespected to the high heavens.
Okay.
And then I'm kind of curious to hear Easy's play.
What's that price?
The second parlay.
Yeah, the Lions, AFC North, Chiefs, AFC West.
Oh, I shouldn't have put it away.
You get like 3-1.
It's like a plus 146 with like a close to even money. It's let's see, it's like 3.5-1.
Plus 350.
Yeah, about plus 350.
Okay. Anything else you want to give?
I want to hear Easy's player takes before I go any further.
All right, Easy, you're up. What are you doing for your Detroit Lions? I'll put you down. I'll start you off with over 10.5 wins. What else are you adding to it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to take the division too. Y'all were talking about win total versus the division. I think second place is going to be 10-7. So I think at 11 wins, the Lions pretty much lock up both. So might as well take the better odds there. With the player stuff, I have a ton of them, so I'll narrow it down a little bit for y'all. My favorite is obviously Jameson Williams. I think he's going to have a great year. He hit over 1,000 yards last year in just 15 games, and now they're saying he's going to be integrated into the offense more this year. I mean, if you're going to be used more on 1,000-yard season, obviously you should have a pretty good year. So I'm going to bet him 1,000+ yards at plus 200 and 1,250 yards at 6-1.
Yes. So you have 1,000+ receiving yards is 2-1. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually have that as well already in my kitty, the Jameson Williams plus 1,250 receiving yards at 6-1. I will tail your 1,000+ receiving yards at 2-1 as well. Cause I think those are both good prices.
Why not go 1,500?
Well, you do have
plus 1,750.
Amon-Ra St. Brown there, who I think he's going to compete against, but 1,250 feels like the sweet spot for me. But
if you're playing the ladder, right?
No, I'm just playing up to 1,250. 1,500 when you have Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta and a good running game. 1,500 is a lot. Easy. I mean, if you're playing 1,500, you should be playing Offensive Player of the Year too. In my mind.
I think if you're going to ladder it with most receiving yards in the division.
Okay.
I think he gets more than Amon-Ra this year, just because I think their target share is probably going to be about the same. But because JMO can beat everybody over the top, I think that's going to kind of push him ahead of Amon-Ra a little bit this year. And Justin Jefferson has JJ McCarthy throwing to him, and he's really the only guy I think that can beat him.
So JMO division lead is 8-1.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll just stick with the 1,250.
I don't like
I see where you're going though.
I don't love having to deal with Justin Jefferson.
I'll
take the. I would. So I also agree with Jameson Williams, but I'm not going to be crazy. I'm not going to be bold like you guys. Taking the 1,000 yards at 2-1 is just fine.
Okay. Weren't you just literally minutes ago advocating for?
No, we were having the conversation.
Oh.
If you're gonna play the ladder, why not tack on 250 more yards?
1,250 feels sweet.
Yeah, it's a 3x. You go from 1,000 to 1,250 is 3x.
Yeah.
And then it's basically another 3x to go that next 250.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's too crazy.
And so you're saying if 1,500, you'd rather take offensive player of the year at like 120 to 1.
Well, I think if you're up there at 1,500 receiving yards, you're going to be in the discussion for offensive player of the year. Is my take, and I think you can get like offensive player of the year at like 150 to 1. Any other?
What about most receiving yards then at that point?
Yeah, that's also true.
That's 60 to 1. That feels more realistic than offensive player.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because of if we think the defense could struggle a little bit, I mean, should we be sprinkling most receiving yards? Jamison Williams 60 to 1, easy.
If Jamar Chase wasn't playing, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
I mean, it's hard to bet against him because they have no defense again this year, and Burrow's going to throw it to him 500 times.
Yeah.
So, but besides him, I think there'd be a shot.
What other props you like, Easy, or futures for your 2025 Detroit Lions?
My next favorite one is Jahmyr Gibbs over 425.5 receiving yards.
Oh, okay.
He had 517 last year, and they're saying they're going to integrate him more in the passing game with his wideout stuff or having both running backs in the backfield. So if they're scheming up more plays for him, it's kind of like the JMO situation. Why would you not bet the guy that they expect to do more with? And he covered that number last year. So I just think he's going to be a big piece of the passing game.
So Jahmyr Gibbs, and what was it? What was the amount?
425.5
receiving yards.
I was pretty shocked to see his, even though he is the chalk in the division to lead in rushing yards, he is still plus odds at plus 140. That stood out to me. I mean, I'm not going to play it, but I do think that Jahmyr Gibbs was definitely a eye-opening experience looking at his usage last year and just how good he was.
Now, our buddy Jared Goff, he did throw 5 interceptions in one game. Are we considering Jared Goff most interceptions? Now, you can still have a good season and throw some interceptions, a la Baker Mayfield, who tied for this league lead last year. Are you in on the Jared Goff most interceptions, Easy?
No. Not only will he not have the most interceptions, I think he'll have the least interceptions in the division.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, he's 15 to 1, which I feel like
for most interceptions in the league.
Yeah,
that's bad.
That's
not good.
I don't think they throw enough to get there, and because of Gibbs and Montgomery, who I think should be awesome.
There's too many young guys that don't have something behind them.
Yeah, no, nothing to worry about.
Like the more that I think about this, and like Cam Ward is almost certainly going to be in the mix, but there's a number of other guys who like we talked about the Baker Trevor Lawrence comparisons. Trevor Lawrence could be up there. Baker could be up there again, no problem. Drake May, if he ends up with a shitload of interceptions, would that be surprising?
Easy. Any other Lions futures you want to toss out?
Yeah, Sam Laporta over 6.5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was debating this one.
Okay,
I was debating that or yards. He's been over both of them both years he's played, but 6.5 touchdowns just seems low. I think he could potentially have a little bit lower receiving yards this year just because of, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams. I think Isaac Tesla steals some yards in the receiving game. He looks really good in the preseason.
Is he going to be a first touchdown guy for us, Isaac Tesla?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to end up being wide receiver 3 by the start of the season.
I got a sneaky list I'm working on, Ryan.
Is he? He's a Who Pig Suey too. I think he's from Arkansas, right? Yeah. Okay, that would be.
Let's go.
Work that into your first touchdown handicap.
So I'll tail the Laporta over 6.5 touchdowns.
Can
I'm
we
in on him.
Add on that? Because Justin Jefferson is not always a touchdown guy.
Yeah,
and Laporta is third chalk in the division touchdown market, only behind Jefferson and his teammate Amon-Ra. We already know he had that high variance year a couple of years back as a rookie when he went double digits. He's 10 to 1 to lead the division in receiving touchdowns. I absolutely love that.
Okay.
I know you're high on Laporta.
I
know you're high on Laporta in fantasy. And when you dig around, it's like every other situation, like Hawkinson, Jefferson, like there's just a lot of sharing. And so knowing that Matthew Golden is actually an interesting dark horse at 25-1, as much as I hate the Packers and Jordan Love, but yeah, Laporta at 10-1 here feels like this is not sad. Why he should be favored over St. Brown.
Yeah. Now that we talked it out, I'm in 10-1.
Welcome. Yeah, we should make sure we have the account and lock that one in. That's nice
a good. It's a nice little 10-1. All right, so we like the Sam Laporta stuff. Jahmyr Gibbs receiving yards. Jamison Williams receiving yards.
Easy hasn't brought it up, so I'll ask directly. Goff MVP?
No, they won't give it to him.
No.
I like that. It's not his fault.
Yeah, it's the damn voters.
Look at what happened last year. You know, I mean, obviously a 5 interception game is a killer.
That will hurt your chances.
4,600 passing yards, 37 touchdowns. He actually ran in for a couple. He caught a pass. He still should have been in the convo. I mean, he only finished with 12 interceptions on the year. So that's still on the fairly low side of it. But after that game, it was just, all right, we're done talking about him completely. And I think there's too many other stars on the team, kind of like your offensive player of the year point with JMO.
Yeah.
If Goff is an MVP caliber guy, it's going to be because one of his players is lighting it up. And I think they kind of get the attention from Jared Goff, whereas on other teams, it would be the opposite with the quarterback.
Just for reference for everyone, that Laporta division price is the same price that you can get on him to have 12 touchdowns. I'd much rather have him to lead the division.
Okay.
Right? Like
I think so. Yeah, I'm trying to price that in my mind.
I don't think you need to get 12 to lead the. I think if you're getting 12, you're definitely leading the division.
Yeah, but to your point, you're right. You could win this division with 10 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. I mean, if like
I saw the chat was talking about it. It's always good to those types of things. You always want to price shop.
Yeah, especially the alts versus the.
Well, if you think about it, the markets where you're betting into someone getting a milestone or a certain amount of touchdowns. The other players being bet into don't have any effect, but in the leader market, action coming in on other players could get you a better price. And so,
good point. Easy, always fun chopping it up with you. I know you do a bunch of content online. You're in our Discord. Hit them up there or on X at @BeEasyBets with 2 Y's there. And then you got your. How can people find your YouTube channel? Easy.
Yeah, Easy Betting Show, also 2 Y's. I'll be putting up a lot of stuff here in the next couple weeks. So
hell yeah.
I have like 80 subscribers. So
let's go. Let's get those numbers up. Check out the Be Easy betting show and hopefully hearing from you on the pregame show. Always good. You hopping on, do a great job, and check out Easy wherever you get your content. Kramer, we gotta get going. We got 2 more NFL previews to do today. It's a big day.
We have the man in the box.
Yes.
We'll be talking Ravens later on this afternoon, and then we got Chiefs tonight. And then tomorrow, like you said, doubleheader. Bills in the afternoon, pack break with Daps at night, and then final team preview Wednesday 4 p.m. Eagles. Let's go.
The Philadelphia.
Oh, and by
Eagles.
the way, preseason picks Wednesday night, and then we're off to Vegas.
And we it was a fun preseason. Shout out to everyone who tailed the AFC North money line parlay. That thing was a nice 30-1.
And the joint practice unders. We're coming back for another week, baby.
Kramer can. I'm good on the unders.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, 0-7.
You've never. Wow. Okay.
Because you've
never been a part of a first half under that started off very slow.
0-7.
Yeah,
it's pretty slow. Well, also
that's wild.
There's 32 first half unders. How many more joint practice unders do we have?
More than we've had already. I think we have another like 24 total.
Right. I'll look into it. We'll see if the totals adjust.
Last year, week 2, joint practices went 9-1 to the under. 9-1 in week 2 of the preseason to the under last year.
Okay.
Unless you're scared. Sean.
Well, I think the new kickoff rule is changing things a little bit, and teams are playing their starters more. Stay tuned for the week 2 preseason picks episode. Hey, always been getting a lot of feedback, questions, comments over on Spotify. Great place to let your chime in. Always love hearing your plays, questions, comments. Hit us up on Spotify. Toss us 5 stars while you're over there.
What year you started listening?
Oh yeah, that's always fun. Toss that in there. Kramer, of course, as always.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Just realized, Sean, the show is not that far off of legal gambling age in Canada.
Kramer, let it ride.
I want better fucking execution.